Welcome back to Power in the Pause. I'm your host, Chelsea, and this is the space where we slow down, breathe for a second, and remember that sometimes the most powerful thing we can do is pause. Today, we're talking about something that shows up in so many women's lives, especially the women that I work with: codependency and the fear of being disliked. And sis, this pattern runs deeper than most people realize, because many women have spent most of their lives trying to be the good one, the understanding one, the easy one, the one who keeps the peace, the one who makes sure everyone else is okay. And on the surface, that looks like kindness. But underneath it, a lot of women are living stressed out, anxious, inauthentic versions of themselves, because somewhere along the way, they learned something that quietly shaped the way they move through relationships. They learned that being liked equals being safe. So they start adjusting. They soften their opinions. They say yes when they want to say no. They take responsibility for other people's emotions. They over explain. They over accommodate. Not because they're weak, but because their nervous system learned something very early. If I keep everyone comfortable, I won't lose connection. And that's often where codependency begins, not in selfishness, but in survival. So many women who struggle with codependency grew up being very aware of other people's emotional states. They could read the room, they could sense tension, they could feel when someone was upset. And over time, they became really good at managing it. They became the peacekeepers, the emotional support system, the one who holds everything together. But there's a hidden cost. When you spend your life managing everyone else's emotions, you slowly lose connection with your own. Your needs become secondary, your voice gets quieter, your boundaries start to feel like they might disappoint someone. And that's where authenticity starts to feel dangerous, because authenticity might mean someone doesn't like your answer. Authenticity might mean that you stop fixing everything. Authenticity might mean someone gets uncomfortable. And sis, that's the part that scares people, because many women were never taught that relationships can survive discomfort. So they keep bending, they keep accommodating, they keep performing the version of themselves that keeps everything smooth. But here's the tea I want every woman to hear today. Often the price of authenticity is being disliked. Not by everyone, sis, but by the people who were most comfortable with the version of you that abandoned yourself. And that's a hard realization, because when you start speaking more honestly, when you start setting boundaries, when you stop over functioning in relationships, some people may not know what to do with that version of you, but that doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. It means the dynamic is changing, and growth often changes dynamics, because authenticity shifts the question. Instead of asking, will they still like me? You start asking, am I being true to myself? And that shift is where real healing begins. But before we go any further, let's take a pause to do what we do here. Wherever you are at right now, take a moment with me for a second. Take a slow breath in, pause, and a slow breath out. Again, inhale, pause, exhale. Great. Your nervous system needs moments like this. Because we've spent years managing everyone else's emotions, our bodies stay on alert, always scanning, always adjusting, always trying to maintain harmony. But healing from codependency isn't about becoming cold or distant. It's about learning that your needs and your voice deserve space too. It's learning that someone else's discomfort does not automatically mean that you did something wrong. It's learning that you can care about people without carrying responsibility for their emotional experience. And that is a huge shift for many women because it requires something we weren't always taught: self trust. Trusting that you can speak honestly, trusting that you can set boundaries, trusting that the relationships meant for you will be able to handle the real version of you. And sis, here's what so many women discover when they start practicing authenticity: the right relationships do not disappear when you stop shrinking. They actually get stronger because they're finally based on truth. So if you notice yourself this week overthinking someone's reaction, or feeling guilty for having a boundary, or worrying that someone might not like your decision, I want you to pause and ask yourself one simple question: am I abandoning myself to keep this relationship comfortable? Because that question alone can change everything. Sometimes the most powerful shift isn't a big dramatic change. Sometimes it's simply the moment you realize, I don't have to disappear in order to belong. Thank you for spending this moment with me today, sis. And if this episode resonated with you, share it with another woman who might need the reminder that she is allowed to be fully herself. And even if that makes some other people uncomfortable, do it anyways. Take up space. And if you want more conversations just like this about healing, growth, and stepping into the woman you're becoming, come join me over on Instagram at She Is Society Official. Until next time, remember, there is always power in the pause.